All right, welcome to Corn Brew Podcast, episode 5. Rixe and I are together again for the first time since episode 1.
I'm back.
Yeah, I'm not too happy about it. Finally moved to Milwaukee. Do you feel like you finally accomplished your life purpose?
That was my whole life goal,
Mm-hmm.
was to move to Milwaukee. Now it can die a happy man.
Closer to me.
Yeah.
I figured once we met in college, you'd want to leave Nebraska forever.
Yeah.
And come live with me. I'll kick my wife out for you.
Okay, deal. Makes life a little bit simpler for this podcast.
I got a king-size bed. I call being the little spoon.
You have 2 beds also.
One king, so I can't sleep by myself anymore, Rixe. All right. So you weren't able to watch the final game of the Bucks Raptors series, but you followed it on your phone, I'm gonna say, / computer, however you kept track of it.
Yep, the TNT app really failed me that one, so watching just a game cast.
Oh, I gotcha. So what did you think of the game? From what you could catch of it?
That was trying to move the entire day, but watching the game at night, and I was just kind of mixed emotions because I wasn't able to watch the game, but you could see that they were up, and then like, oh yes, feeling good. Next thing you know, check your phone about 5 minutes later. Oh, this is not so good, but they're still up. And then the end came.
Yeah.
Check the phone one more time. Raptors are up 8.
Mm-hmm.
And you knew it was the end.
No, the tough thing was they were up 15 in the third. Well, they were up pretty much the whole game.
Yep.
They got up 15 or 13 in the first quarter. They were up 15 at one point in the second, and then they closed out the second quarter. And they were only up 7 at half. And then third quarter they got all the way up to 15. And then I was looking at it Saturday, and they got to like the 2-minute 30 mark, and then just the Raptors switched it, and momentum just went completely in their favor. They brought it down to 5-point lead, so they went from 15-point deficit to only a 5 within 2 minutes. And pretty much from that point on, you kind of knew the Bucks didn't really have a chance. So momentum just switched entirely, and it all depended on how they started the fourth quarter. The Raptors got a quick Fred VanVleet bucket. Bucks matched that, and then from there it was just all Raptors. Took the lead. Story of the fourth quarter was really just Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
He made the right play every time. He got 3 offensive rebounds in the fourth quarter. All of this on damn near one leg.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know. Giannis, I think, is a better player, but go ahead. I know I cut you off.
I was gonna say Kawhi showed why he's still better than Giannis. And maybe it's experience, maybe it's that killerness in Kawhi, but
yeah.
I mean, if you want who at the end of the day, who was the better player in that series, it has to be Kawhi.
Yeah. I think overall, I should have said it different. I think Giannis has the better skill set.
Ceiling,
but
better ceiling.
Yeah, Kawhi has it
now.
Matured now. Yeah.
Yes,
and I think
right now.
I think the big thing is he was with Pop for so many years. Because I don't think if Kawhi was with Pop, I think if he would have went to any other team, I don't think he would be. I still think he's a great talent, but I don't think it'd be as great as he is right now.
No, and that goes to Popovich coaching. It goes to experience and being there and being in those big games.
Yeah.
And Giannis, I mean, he's young. He doesn't know what to do yet, and he doesn't have that jump shot that Kawhi has, and that's hurt some a little bit. And
yeah,
I mean, I think the other Raptors role players played better than the Milwaukee's did as well, and so Kawhi could rely on his teammates a little bit more than Giannis could.
Yeah, I definitely think the game or the whole series. We won't spend too long on this because I had my drunken rant already, but I think the whole series. At the end of the day, Kawhi and Giannis, you give Kawhi a little bit of an edge. Obviously, just his defense he has a better jump shot, and his defense is just ridiculous. And when they showed that when they put him on Giannis, his game's completely different. And then you just pretty much had to go to everybody else. And like you said, the first 2 games, the Bucks bench and role players just did ridiculously well. Even game 3, they did really well, but the difference was Giannis, Bledsoe, and Middleton all sucked. That's a game Giannis only had 12 points. Middleton, I barely had any. I think that was his like 12 or like 8 10, whatever it was. It wasn't good. All three of them did terrible. But their bench, especially George Hill, which you brought up, playoff experience, he definitely stepped up. But then the rest of the series, Middleton just had a really bad series. I honestly think he played himself out of a couple $1 million per year. Ilyasova had a really good game. Too. Kind of fell off, came back game 6, had a good one. But still, there really wasn't. Connaughton got rebounds, played defense. Pretty much George Hill was their most consistent bench player. But then when you look at the Raptors, Powell was ridiculous. But I think the story of their bench is Fred VanVleet. Looked literally like Steph Curry.
Marc Gasol is mad at you because you call him, Powell. I thought you said Powell.
Powell? No.
Yeah.
Powell.
I thought you were mixing up the Gasol brothers.
No, I hate both of them. I know which one. I hate the one that's on the Bucks. Powell Gasol, I hate him. His face pisses me off. Marc Gasol's face pisses me off too.
Okay, all right.
Powell.
Yeah. But yes, Fred VanVleet, lights out.
Yeah.
Game 5 and 6.
Did you see the stat difference for when before he had his kid and after he had his kid?
No.
In the playoffs? Let me bring that up real quick. It is hilarious on how much better he is after he had his kid.
Because his wife's not pregnant anymore.
Yeah, I know. You're
a little bit more relaxed.
Oh, yeah. I know. That just changes everything.
Mm-hmm.
But no, now he's in the postpartum stage. So
yeah, just enjoying life.
No, that's horrible. Postpartum?
Wait, what's postpartum?
Like after the wife has the baby and their hormones are just crazy?
My wife has not been pregnant yet, so I do not know this postpartum stage.
Well, you'll come to learn it and you'll come to hate it. All right, I can't find. Anyways, it went from he averages like 4 points per game all the way up to 16. His shooting percentage went from 19% to 82%. Like it is insane the difference from after his kid was born.
That kid just must be a joy.
No, kids suck. But so yeah, that he was the I think he was the pivotal. I think he's one of the top 2 reasons. Obviously, you give it to Kawhi. Kawhi's the number 1 reason they won it. If they didn't have Kawhi, they wouldn't be here. Number 2, you just give it to the role players, especially Fred VanVleet. And their coach made like the necessary adjustments, I think.
Well, even Kyle Lowry, was consistent.
For the first time.
For the first time, I said after game 1, there's no way these Raptors have a chance because Kyle Lowry had a 30-point game. Yeah. And I did not think he was ever going to do that again in the playoffs, knowing his track history. Yeah. Well, obviously, he proved me wrong, and he was consistent every game. He was there. He showed up. Yeah. And he played excellent for his team.
Yeah. And then you go – so, right, even game 6, he had 17 points, 3 for 4 from 3. He always gives effort, whether it's rebounding on the defensive end. But the big thing, just like counteracting on the other side is Eric Bledsoe just sucked ass. Yeah. Couldn't hit a shot. You could tell he was doubting himself. He'd always hesitate before he would do anything. And then for someone who's so strong and explosive, the Raptors just did a really good job. They sagged off him because they knew they wanted, if they were going to lose from a jump shot, they wanted it to be either his or Giannis's jump shot. They would sag off, and then when either him or Giannis would come into the lane, they would just hit a wall of 2 or 3 defenders. Especially Giannis, they'd always take either either Marc Gasol or Ibaka, and they'd go and double team him right away, make the extra pass, and always the person that was open was Bledsoe. Yep. Or the worst shooter on the floor. Even Mirotic had a horrible series. Coach Bud didn't even go to him in the final game. He didn't get 1 minute. He went from a starter to being benched for the most important game for him. So just all around, it was not the best showing, but going into our next little segment, they're a young team. They're hungry. They got –
Hold up.
Yeah.
I'm Bledsoe real fast.
Oh, I thought you were about to – I thought
no. I just want to say I thought the biggest play was Bledsoe passed up was a layup on the inside. Instead, he passed to corner in game 5.
And then when it bounced off
with Brogdon, what's his name? Siakam was there instantly. Siakam wasn't like sagging off. Siakam was right on him. Bledsoe could have had a shot at the rim, but he threw it in the corner with nowhere to go, and they ended up losing that possession. Yeah. They were only down by 3 with 30 seconds or so left.
Yeah.
He sure went for the 2, and I thought that was a huge mistake by Bledsoe, and it kind of cost him the series.
Yeah, and I think one of the things too with the Bucks in general is like, and I'm never gonna say a negative word about Bud. He is the best coach the Bucks ever had. Lately, I can't say that for the older teams. As of the track record lately for coaches, he's the best coach by far. And I just don't know if it's just today's NBA to where I think a lot of the times during this series and the playoffs in general, I'd see them. I feel like we just settled on jump shots too much.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's either we would go, Giannis to the rim, or pass it up for a 3. And I know when people are hitting, that's great, but there's times where I'm like, just take a 2, just get a layup. Mm-hmm. But I know that's literally analytics is huge now. I don't know, but it's frustrating sometimes when I'm just like, just take a 2, drive, try to get a foul. But in the playoffs, you want to go with what's been working. And honestly, this team is, and I've said this already, incredibly young. This is the farthest anybody on the team, minus maybe George Hill, have gotten. I know he spent time with the Spurs, but I don't think he went really far into the playoffs with them either. I know he was in the finals last year with LeBron, but he didn't do anything with them really. Mm-hmm. He sucked last year. So like he had the veteran leadership, but besides that, like this Eric Bledsoe, this is really the first time he's been in a position like this. When he was with the Clippers, he was a backup. Then he went to the Suns. They sucked. This is the farthest he's gotten. Hopefully they can learn from it. But going forward, kind of going into next year, the Bucks are in a really, really tough spot. They go from having the best team, I guess I can't really say if they lost in the playoffs, one of the best team in the NBA, to now they keep their star, Giannis. They signed Eric Bledsoe to a 4-year, $70 million deal, which after the playoffs, what do you say? Do you think they rushed it? That was a good deal? He was first team all defense, all NBA defense.
I think it helps. I mean, they could have got themselves a little bit of a discount, but you just can't let everyone walk every year.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to keep some pieces together. I think he does play well. I think he learns, he gets better.
Yeah.
So.
And this could be a huge, but it's, I don't know. This has like a point that this is the first time he's gotten this far in the playoffs. It showed that his shot did not work in the playoffs. Like he sucked. So I don't know if now that's kind of like a wake-up call that this offseason I need to shoot 1,000 shots every day, get it better to where it's a consistent threat. But at the same time, he's a veteran NBA player to where if his shot hasn't really improved yet, is it going to improve at this point?
Well, I'll throw Brook Lopez at you.
Good-ass point. Yeah, that's a good point. But is that his shot sucked or he just never took it?
That's I don't know. Yeah. I don't have the answer for you.
Yeah.
But that's the only other thing is, I mean,
yeah,
your shot can improve.
It can.
It takes work.
Yeah.
I mean, he'll have to work at it. It all depends on Bledsoe if he wants to get better.
Yeah. No, that's true. And I think with his defense, if he really works that 3 up, I think the contract's fine.
Yeah.
It's ended it like players are getting the super maxes to $40 million. Obviously, that's going to be Giannis in a couple of years, but Bledsoe signed for pretty much what's come down to like $17 million a year, which with the salary cap in the market right now. So going into this offseason, Chris Middleton's a free agent. Brook Lopez was on a 1-year, $3 million deal. That's done. He's going to get a pay raise either with the Bucks or somebody else. Brogdon's a free agent, restricted at least. George Hill is non-guaranteed. Pat Connaughton is non-guaranteed. Mirotic is a free agent. And then Sterling Brown is a non-guaranteed contract. So that's 7 players right there that they can either try to resign or let walk. So first things first, let's just look at these 3 players: Brogdon, Middleton, Lopez. Let's take them one by one. What do you do? Let's start with Brogdon.
He's the one I think you need to sign the most.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's young. I think he makes plays.
Yeah.
He's quick. You can attack the rim. He seems more consistent. I like him more than Middleton.
And Well, just like Middleton too, he can guard multiple positions.
Yes.
He was one of the better
Yes.
defenders on Kawhi.
Mhm.
And you have a person that can play point guard, yet he's 6'5", so he can guard Kawhi Leonard. Like, that's a huge asset. And like you said, he's young. This was his third NBA season.
Yeah.
Former Rookie of the Year.
I mean, just watching the series, he looked to be making smarter basketball plays.
Yeah.
His IQ seems better than Middleton's.
Yeah. He's one that, like, he's never going to be – like, he'll have those games where he scores high 20s for points, but he's always going to be a player that makes the right decision and doesn't turn the ball over much. Like, even in this game, this is one of his higher turnover games. He had 3, but usually he's not a player that you can – or for game 6 he had 3, but he's usually not a player that's having a lot of turnovers. He's always making the right choices. So I'm with you that I honestly would focus on him more. But the tough thing is he's restricted. Chris Middleton's not.
Yeah.
So if you wanted, you could wait for Brogdon to get an offer, but it's tough for him because he doesn't get a high one. So I don't know if you want to be like, hey man, look, this is what we'll give you right now if you're willing to sign it.
Yeah.
And then hope he takes it. So Brook Lopez, you think what's your max offer to him? Because they're going to offer him something, but eventually it's going to be outmatched. What's your max offer you would give Brook Lopez?
So this year, 1 year,
it was 1 year, $3 million.
$3 million.
Yeah,
I think you gotta give him at least 15 mil.
15?
I think so.
We can't afford that. We could if we cut George Hill.
But I think
the Bucks.
I think
can't be
on
so
the market,
biased on the podcast.
On the market, I honestly think 15 mil is going to get the job done.
There's going to be a team that offers him that. One team that
okay, a couple years ago, how much did the Bucks give what's his name?
John Henson?
No, from
we
the
gave
Cavs.
John Henson like 12. We gave Dellavedova 8 or 9. We traded Dellavedova, a terrible contract that worth 8 or 9. John Henson, terrible contract, 10 plus, and a first round pick for George Hill this year. So we got rid of those two.
So I think 15 might be on the high side.
I'm hoping we can get him for 10. 10 is I would say, look, man, we had a great run. This is probably the best team you've been on. Like, we'll give you 2 years, $16 million, 2 years, $15 million.
Hey, okay.
Like, let's run it back. We got to the Eastern Conference Finals. Like, Milwaukee loves you. Because at this point, too, like, he's later in his career. And so it's kind of getting to the point where it's like you take those discounts when you want to get some championships, and the Bucks have a great opportunity. For me, one thing, if they can work this voodoo magic and convince George Hill, like, we love you on this team, like, let's restructure. But this is not the NFL. I don't know how many players restructure contracts.
I don't know.
We'll be like, look, we'll cut this contract right now and we'll void out this 1 year, $18 million, but we'll sign you to a 3-year extension. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But again, this isn't like, I'm thinking of it as an NBA or NFL contract, which I don't think it works like that. Chris Middleton. I think we have a little bit different views on Chris Middleton, to where he killed it last year against Boston. He did really well. This year, he had a great playoff. Well, I don't want to say great. He had a good playoff. So this is his point. Like, his points is 14, 24, 20, 18, 16, 28, 20, 13, 19, and this is where it starts to get terrible. 11, 12, 9, 30, 6, 14.
Like, okay, you're in the biggest series. This is the stage. This is where you have to show up.
Yeah.
No one cares what you did before this. No one cares what happened, but in the regular season. It's the playoffs now. Yeah. It's the Eastern Conference Finals. Your season's on the line, and you're scoring 6 points at home. Game 5, series tied 2-2. Yes. You're shooting 2 for 9, 22% field goal shooting.
Yeah, that's bad.
I mean, yes, you had 10 rebounds. Wonderful.
Wonderful.
But you played 36 minutes.
Yeah.
What he did in game 4 in 36 minutes, 30 points.
Yeah, that was like a regular season Middleton game.
Good job, Middleton, game 4. But
where were you the rest of the time?
Where did you go in 2 games you had to win?
Yeah.
41 minutes you played game 6. 5 for 13, 38% shooting. Only 4 rebounds, so I can't even say good job there.
Yeah.
14 points. If you are supposed to be a max type player or close to that, you can't disappear.
So what do you give him then? If Bledsoe got, because obviously right now my goal if I'm the Bucks is to keep this team intact.
I disagree.
You think they cut ties with Middleton and sign somebody else?
This is where I only say, if they honestly think they can upgrade from Middleton and they have a realistic shot at signing somebody, then yes, I cut ties. But if I can't upgrade, if I don't think I have a realistic shot of bringing someone else in, then I pay Middleton. I don't have that number for you, what you pay him, but if I think I can move on and maybe upgrade, then this is the time to do it. But I don't think throwing money at Middleton's the best idea.
Yeah. So this is, if I'm the Bucks, in my mind, looking at like the list of free agents, the only upgrade that will never happen for this team is that somehow you can get Klay Thompson.
What about Tobias Harris?
Totally different position. Tobias Harris is a forward, a power forward, not play shooting guard now.
Milton isn't he small forward?
He plays either shooting guard or small forward for us. More small forward, but there's times where he plays usually. So he's a guard for us.
Gotcha. All right.
But usually our lineup, like sometimes in the regular season, we did a lot of Bledsoe, Brogdon, Middleton, Giannis, Lopez.
Yeah.
And then if we wanted to go really big, we do like when Brogdon was hurt, we would do Bledsoe, Middleton, Giannis, Mirotic, Lopez. Pretty much Klay Thompson. If you can get Klay Thompson to a max contract, I would do that in a heartbeat.
I mean, everyone wants Klay.
Yeah, but there's no way he's going to come to Milwaukee. And the thing with Middleton is he fits the Bucks description of a long defender.
That is true. I mean, just kind of looking through the potential free agents.
I don't want Jimmy. I would cut off both of my feet and just give them to homeless people if they sign Jimmy Butler.
No, Jimmy Butler, he's a cancer for
any team.
Yeah. So you kind of looking at, I mean, Klay would be perfect, but that's not happening.
He probably doesn't fit on the team. But if the Bucks did not let Bledsoe walk, because we traded for him. He was only with Bud and that's one thing that I think people are overlooking. And I don't want to spend too much time on the Bucks because I know I'm a big homer with this, and I want to be more of a podcast and just focus on Wisconsin teams. But this is the first year Bud coached this team. Like, they had one offseason with Coach Bud.
Yeah.
Another, this is one offseason of work, and you take this team from getting eliminated in the first round to the best record in the NBA and 2 games away from the finals.
But you can't give Middleton a max.
No, I'm just saying if I were them, I don't think Middleton on any team should get the max, but it's unrealistic to think a team won't offer him the max. If you're the Lakers,
you think someone offers him a max?
I think there's a team that's going to be, 1, desperate enough, and 2, they're going to miss out on other players, and they're just like, fuck it, we need somebody.
Yeah.
I think the Lakers' last resort would be signing Middleton because he likes being the number 2, or even number 3. And let's say the Warriors lose Klay because there are rumors that they would sign that he would go somewhere else that they don't give him the max. Let's say the Lakers take away Klay. Like, who are they going to get to fill that spot? Like, the first thing I would think of is let's get Middleton. He's a poor man's Klay Thompson.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think there's a team that's going to, but they wouldn't offer him the max, but they're also the Warriors. So it's like,
you never know what they're going to do.
I can play in, we'll be San Francisco. I can play in San Francisco,
Yeah. You might even take a veterans mid on
them. Probably do a Boogie Cousins.
Yeah. No, it's so, I don't know. I'm not the best with the numbers, but
yeah, no, I'm with you. I think if they had their choice, they wouldn't offer him the max. But I think I think they're going to kind
Somewhat
of
is.
see what other teams do.
One-
And I think Middleton's going to kind of be – I think there's a connection enough to where he'd be like, look, guys, this is the offer I got. Can you beat it? And if they can't, I
Hopefully.
think he'll walk.
Yeah, one team always ruins it, though.
Yeah. But I think he's at the point, too, where he played with the Pistons for a little bit. They sucked. He was with the Bucks when they were – like, he had those shitty seasons with the Bucks. Like, I think he wants to be on contenders right now. I don't think he wants to go to a team, be a number one, and then they suck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, let's move on from this because, like I said, I want to expand my horizons from just Bucks and Packers.
Yep.
And not just be that kind of podcast. So let's go ahead into – we talked about the Bucks free agency. I'm just looking at the list of potential free agents. I want to go through some big names and see where you think they should go, where you think they should go, where you think they'll actually end up, things like that. We'll hit on a few of them. We won't go to all of them because that'll just be obnoxious.
All right, my question.
Yes, sir.
The top three guys.
Yes. Durant,
Durant,
Kawhi Leonard, Kyrie Irving.
Any chance any of those guys play with LeBron? Because that's what everyone wants to know.
I think the best chance, I think it goes literally. So it's ranked right now. We're looking at a website's ranking top 30 free agents. It goes, whichever one kind of has this. Durant number 1, Kawhi Leonard number 2, Irving number 3. I actually think you flip that, and that's the ranking they'll go. Like for LeBron, it's Kyrie, I think, has the best chance, then Kawhi, and then KD, I'm pretty, like, everyone's certain he's going to the Knicks.
All right, so if you're Lakers and you have either Kawhi or Kyrie, who do you put all the welcome mat out to? Who do you make your best sales pitch to?
Kawhi.
Is there any chance Kawhi wants to come?
No. I think from what I've all read and heard, by heard, I mean like on podcasts and things. I don't have weird sources, but no, from all the things like I read and listened to is like, if Kawhi does go to LA, it'll be the Clippers.
What about does Kawhi stay?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
But they made it to the finals.
Did you see the video of his sister? So his sister did this video he put on Instagram, or she put on Instagram, was like, we're going to the finals, super, super loud. And someone in the background, like she was with her family, and his uncle's super boisterous and close to Kawhi. And in the background, you can hear what everyone's thinking her uncle go. They know he's not going to be there next year.
Okay. That might answer our question right there.
So I don't think he's staying there.
Yeah,
I think he didn't want to go there to begin with. He had good success. I think the Raptors go and rebuild next year. Gasol's a free agent. Kawhi Leonard's going to be a free agent. Kyle Lowry's a free agent. They can get rid of Green. They can get rid of Ibaka, and I think they just start fresh. I think the same thing, not same thing, but Warrior, obviously Durant's leaving.
Yes,
he's done, especially with the playoff success they've had. Everyone says, I don't agree when people say they're a better team without him. I think you take any team and put Durant on it, it's better.
They play better without Durant.
I think they're more exciting without Durant, but I don't think they're better without Durant.
I don't know. They looked like poor.
Okay,
I guess
if you take any team and you're like, hey guys, here's Kevin Durant, they're better.
But that offense and I guess how I looked at it, Curry, Clay, Draymond played better without Durant. The ball moved better. Maybe it was just Portland's poor defense, but it was literally the Warriors were kind of unstoppable that series.
Yeah, I mean, but like you just hit it too, and I'm sorry for cutting you off again, but I think a lot of it is they played the Trailblazers, who they can't really. The Trailblazers' best bet weren't really to beat them defensively; it was just to be better offensively than them.
Well, their offense sucked. Their offense was hopefully make a lucky shot.
Well, that's Dame time. I love Damian Lillard, and I love CJ McCollum. I don't know. I love the players on Portland. But I think they have to do something trading Evan Turner, getting that big contract off. But
anyways, with Kevin Durant, he just doesn't seem to fit.
Yeah.
It seems like he's the one that's better, but it's left out of the group.
I think he's left out of a lot of their plays. I think when he's doing really well, it's when they do ISO with him.
Yes.
They let him do ISO and he kicks it out to Steph Curry. But I think when he's gone, that's when they start to do those plays. Like they actually run like a legit move the ball offense. And then when he's there, they fall a lot more into just ISO ball, which I don't blame him because he's literally the best ISO ball player in the NBA.
Yeah.
Maybe besides James Harden.
So Durant needs to go to his own team. He needs to be the center focus of his own team, start his own team, build around Durant.
So you think if you had to guess right now what team Durant goes to, would you say Knicks?
Knicks or Clippers?
That's what they're saying is either the Knicks, Clippers, and then a dark horse or the Nets.
Yeah. Someone who has the money and
Yeah.
someone who's in that big city market.
Yeah.
So either the Clippers or the Knicks, but someone who has the money. I think Durant finally wants to be on his own.
And I think one thing he would do, I think it's percent-wise, I think it's Knicks 90%. Everyone else, like Nets or Clippers 8, Nets 2%.
Yeah.
Like I think the only reason he'd go to the Clippers is because then it's literally Durant versus LeBron for who's gonna own LA. And I think he just kind of want to give a final F you to LeBron. Like, look, you came to LA, I came, and now I run the city.
Maybe. All right, but what about this? Knicks, okay, with the draft, how that all panned out, the lottery.
Yeah.
Knicks say, forget this pick.
Yep.
We trade it to the Pelicans,
Yeah.
get AD.
Yeah.
Does Durant and AD work together?
I think if they trade the pick for AD, I think it becomes Kyrie, Durant. Actually, I don't think Kyrie. I think it becomes Kemba, Durant, AD.
Ooh.
I think if they trade
like
the number
that.
4 pick, I think that's what happens.
Number 3 pick.
Number 3 pick, yeah.
Lakers have
I'm thinking
4.
the Lakers are going to try to trade number 4 for him, and I think the Knicks, if the Knicks package like Dennis Smith Jr., they don't really have anybody else. Number 3 pick next year, they can't do 2 picks in a row, so the following like 2 years later pick, I think they could possibly try to get AD. I don't know if the Pelicans want to trade him right now. They got David Griffin in as their new GM, or no, they not new GM. President of the operations. They did get a new GM. I don't know his name off the top of my head. They got Zion. I think they might want to, and like what Bill Simmons says too, is like maybe run it until February and trade him at the deadline because the team's going to want him.
But what if you want instead go young and go Zion, RJ Barrett? It worked. It worked at Duke.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
they would have to trade Drew Holiday too because he wouldn't want to stay. He'd probably put in a request, which I don't think they're complaining about. But then they'd go real young.
Trade him to Memphis, get the top 3 picks.
No, they would definitely trade. They want that whatever that guy is, Jamal, whatever number 2 guy.
Nope, I agree.
Yeah. So I think he goes to the Knicks. I think they end up trading. I do think they end up trading the 3rd pick.
Yes.
So let's go to Kawhi. Where do you think Kawhi goes?
I think KD has to fall first.
Okay, so for the sake of this, let's say Durant goes to the Knicks. Where's Kawhi go?
I would love it if he played with LeBron, but I don't know if that's happening.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I mean,
I hope so too. I don't want
Clippers?
LeBron to go out on a shitty end.
Is he Clippers?
That's what I've read the most.
Where else would he play?
I heard Clippers, and for some reason, people are really interested in the Nets, but I think Clippers.
I would stay if it was down to Nets. I would just say Toronto. But I would love it if LeBron and Kawhi met up.
Yep. And
LeBron's kind of smart enough to take a little bit of a backseat.
He wants a backseat.
Yes.
At this point in his career, he wants. I honestly think he wants to be number 2, and in the playoffs number 2, and in the regular season number 3. Like he wants 2 guys ahead of him where he can just get his 25 points a game.
Yeah.
Not be the guy at the end of the game.
Yeah.
And kind of coast until crunch time in the playoffs, and then it's like, I think you guys forgot I'm still LeBron.
I know. He still has a lot left, LeBron does. He can still dominate. But I think he's smart enough. He's kind of the guy that has the mentality, like he's not selfish. He doesn't need it.
Yeah.
But he would love to play with somebody like that.
Yeah.
And so hopefully that's what we see. But I guess no one knows until it falls.
Yeah. If I had to guess, I would say Clippers.
Yeah.
If I were him, I would go to see. I'm different than everybody else though. Like I would go to the Lakers because, like you were saying, it's not that LeBron wants a sidekick. LeBron wants to be the sidekick.
Yeah.
So why not? You're going to a team that's gonna like the Lakers with Kawhi and LeBron. Right now, if you just add Kawhi to that team, are better than the Raptors.
Yeah.
So going to now number 3.
But
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Number 3. Well, okay, going with the number 3, Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
This is my best case scenario for the Lakers. I do not think they could pull it off. LeBron,
Yeah.
Kyrie, who's our number 3 ranking on this site, and then Klay Thompson.
I was honestly thinking the same thing.
That is the best case scenarios for Lakers.
It's great for LeBron because he has Kyrie can shoot and he can make his own shot. Klay can really shoot and make his own shot. He could easily be the number 3. I honestly think that is perfect case scenario. And I think the only way it'll happen, Golden State's like, look, we are not offering you the max. We need you to take a little bit of a pay cut so we can get another person in since Durant left. And I think they even offer KD the max, him less than the max. And he kind of is like, you know what, fuck you guys. I'm going with LeBron. I'm going with our rival.
Who, I don't know. But Klay came out, said something about the all-NBA team. He says, I really don't care about all-NBA team as long as I'm winning championships. Because he got snubbed.
That's bullshit. Because he looked, regardless of what, he said, like, can you name a guard better than me?
Yeah.
Besides Harden,
true.
You can't really name a guard better than him.
Because Klay can shoot. Klay plays defense. Klay just makes smart plays, moves away from without the ball.
Yeah.
Klay is
and it's not,
way underrated.
Wouldn't you be pissed if that, like, him not making that team, you saw that it cost him $30 million?
I did not see that.
Yeah, no, the All-NBA team is like, it's incentive, like, based off what they do defensive player-wise, MVPs, All-NBAs, plays into what kind of contract they can get. So since Kemba Walker made it, he's eligible for a supermax contract of 5 years, $220 million. But because Klay missed on the All-NBA team, his contract now is $30 million. His max contract is $30 million less than what it could have been. Pretty pissed.
Fuck you, Klay.
Yeah, that cost him so much money. I felt bad.
You lied through your teeth. I believed you, Klay.
All right, so if you're Kyrie, his big things right now, there's 3 teams people are rumoring him to. The Knicks, the Nets. The Nets really like Kyrie and D'Angelo Russell, and then the Lakers. If I'm him, I'm going back with LeBron. Him and LeBron are cool now. And you had ridiculous success with LeBron. You won the NBA Finals with him. He wants you to be the number 1 guy. If you want your own team, that it will be your team.
Yeah.
LeBron will be a vocal leader, but you will be the playmaker.
Yeah, Kyrie kind of showed he has that maturity and realized, hey, as a young guy, I messed up with LeBron. Yeah. I should have played a better role. I should have been more of a team guy. And I think he kind of realized how good it was with LeBron.
Yeah.
And so I think if I'm him, I go back to LeBron because we saw what happened in Boston. He was supposed to be kind of their top guy, and look what happened. All that talent in the world that they had in Boston, and they couldn't make it work. So you're just going the same stuff. It's going to be the same story over and over. Yeah. If you go anywhere, I mean, it could happen in LA with LeBron. We can't predict that, but LeBron, I think, gives you the best success.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. Let's go ahead for, I don't even know how long we've been going, but for the sake of a little bit of time, I'm going to go through these, and I'm going to just say a couple teams. There'll be a few of them I want to talk about, but for some of them, just say what 2 teams I think they're going to, which what I've heard. And if you heard anything or you kind of disagree, let me know. I think for Kemba, him being from New York and then Charlotte being able to offer him the supermax that no other team can, of that, it's either 4 or 5 years, 220. I think it's 5 years, 220 million. I think his 2 teams are either going with, if the Knicks miss out on Kyrie, I think they go for Kemba. If the Charlotte Hornets don't offer him that max,
I think Charlotte kind of moves on.
Yeah,
go with, I think, smart. It hasn't worked so far. I mean,
he's your best player this last year.
Yeah,
you were what, I think it was only like a 30-win team. And they're screwed with the cap. They got Batum, who just cost them a ridiculous amount of money. Kemba would just really just tie them down to just screwed, honestly.
I kind of say let him go or sign a trade.
Yeah.
Something, but
if they let him go, they need to just
rebuild.
They're in the rebuild phase. They have to figure out how to get rid of Batum and a few other players. But yeah, they're they're in a tough spot.
Yeah,
for
putting
sure.
Kemba with KD up in New York would be exciting. It'd be exciting to see. It'd be good for Kemba. It'd be good for the Knicks.
Yeah.
KD would love it.
Yeah. No,
Better
for sure.
for the NBA if Kemba goes to the Knicks.
Yeah. And they got some good young players. They got Malik Monk, Miles Bridges. They got Dwayne Bacon. He's a young player. But so yeah, we'll have to see. They got Frank Kaminsky. No, but they'll have to get rid of Marvin Williams. Is way too much money. They got MKG. They got Nicholas Batum. They'll have to get rid of all of them if they let Kemba go. Which at this point, those players in Kemba haven't meshed. So you might as well just cut ties and hope your fans don't get too upset.
Mm-hmm.
Next one, Klay Thompson. I'd say the two teams he goes to are either the Warriors offer him the max and he stays, or he goes to the Lakers. That's my opinion.
I'd rather see it be mixed up and he goes to play with LeBron, see what he does without Steph Curry.
Yeah. I'd rather have him see him go to the Bucks. Never gonna happen.
I really think he's staying in California.
Mm.
Which team will have to see? Warriors really need to make sure they keep him.
Do you think he's ever like, you know what, I want to be number one guy?
So far, he hasn't shown it in his personality.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
He hasn't shown the number one drive.
Yeah.
But I think does he get bored with the Warriors?
I don't know. That's
Do
the thing.
People get bored at winning championships?
I don't think so.
Then why leave?
I think
stay.
I think with Durant being hurt right now, and I think them going back to he's now the number 2 guy instead of number 3, and like he's having fun again. I think that's gonna be what makes him stay.
Warriors, Steve Kerr.
I think it's 99% Warriors, 1% Lakers.
Here's my advice to you.
Yeah.
Forget Durant. He won you some championships.
Yeah.
Move on.
Yeah.
Keep Clay. Keep Draymond. Keep Curry. Keep them as long as you can. And then just build all these veterans who wants to win championships. Plug them in and play.
Yeah.
It's working. But do not let Clay go.
Yeah, I think he's very important to that team.
Very important. So LeBron, you need to get him on your team.
I'm looking at like who LeBron's gonna get, and I'm just so confused on what. Like the next guy on the list, Tobias Harris. I think.
Forget Tobias Harris. No one really likes Tobias.
Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler's personality. He's a cancer to most teams.
I think him and LeBron would be a hot mess.
You don't think Jimmy Butler? It would have to be those two would want to have to play together.
Okay, so Jimmy Butler and Kyrie Irving are decent friends. Shit. What if they get Kyrie? I think Jimmy Butler's thing is he wants to be on a team that the players work as hard as he does. No one works harder than LeBron. But with those, they both want to win.
Jimmy Butler, Kyrie Irving, LeBron James.
Jimmy Butler will really have to get a shot better. Like LeBron needs shooters around him.
Jimmy Butler balls.
He can shoot, but he's not going to. I think if you can't get Klay Thompson, Jimmy Butler is a great number, like a great consolation prize.
But Jimmy Butler has to want to come there.
Yeah, and that's the thing is I don't know if he'd want to.
But he's a free agent, so he gets to pick where he wants to go.
Yes. Yeah.
Unrestricted.
Mm-hmm.
And so because he wanted out of Chicago.
Yep. Went to
Timberwolves, and that failed.
Yeah, wanted out of there.
It didn't really fit well for him in Philadelphia.
No, because he's surrounded there weren't enough shooters.
No.
They had Ben Simmons, who seemed incompetent sometimes, can't shoot a shot. Joel Embiid he shoots threes, not very well. One of the better big men in the NBA. Top 2, him and Jokic.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see him in LA. I just don't think that's their number 1 choice.
So if you're Jimmy Butler, where do you go?
I think he might have fucked himself over. I think the 76ers are going to try to keep Jimmy Butler.
You have to get rid of someone then.
I think they give it to Tobias Harris.
You keeping Ben Simmons, Embiid, and Jimmy Butler.
There's a lot of talk that maybe Ben Simmons is getting traded.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Ben Simmons to LA. 4th overall pick.
What if you did Lonzo and Kuzma for Ben Simmons?
No.
Who sounds no?
I don't. I think Kyle Kuzma or Kuzma.
Kuzma.
Yeah.
You're
I
right.
think he's I think you go Lonzo in the 4th pick.
What if you go Lonzo and Brandon Ingram?
I think that's better.
The only thing is you'd have to see
Kyle
what's going
Kuzma
on
is
with
better.
Brandon Ingram with he had like some disease that took him out of the series.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Ben Simmons, one thing I saw too is that maybe one trade that Simmons brought up on his podcast was Jason Tatum for Ben Simmons.
Why would you ever do that if you're Boston?
I don't know. It's just one thing they brought up. You put Ben Simmons on a team that can build around him. I don't know. It's just a trade that they.
I don't think Ben Simmons is a franchise player.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
So many people have called him out for his issues and his lack of a jump shot and sometimes just seeming lost.
Giannis is a franchise player.
He's a freak, though. He's like special freak.
Giannis's first 4 seasons. This is he's only 24 years old. Giannis. This is only his 5th or 6th season in the NBA.
Yeah.
You put Ben Simmons had 2 seasons. Look at Giannis's first year. He finished 7th in Rookie of the Year votes. 7th.
Yeah.
And now he's gonna probably be the MVP. You can't rank Ben Simmons based off his 2nd year.
No, but at this point, like, if you get the 4th pick and Lonzo and maybe Ben, but then you because Embiid and Ben Simmons, they're not meshing well together.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think he's going to be out of 7. My thing is,
I think to save Embiid, to save the team, if you keep Butler, this is only if you keep Butler.
Yeah.
If you keep Butler, you got Embiid.
Yeah.
Bring in Lonzo, maybe an Ingram, 4th overall pick. Something like that might work better. But Ben Simmons, because they saw in the playoffs, that doesn't really work for them.
No. I think one player that would be really good for them to sign, I think, would be Mirotic from the Bucks.
There you go.
You put him at the 4. He's a really good shooter. They need Ben Simmons, Jimmy Butler, a ridiculous shooter, Embiid. And then their bench needs to be ridiculous shooters. Like, if you have those 3 players, you just need shooters.
I think
you need 12 JJ Redicks.
I think 76ers should keep Butler, but
and
then
trade
move
Simmons.
on. Yes.
Yeah.
LeBron and Simmons have had a lot of connections.
Okay, this is literally just random thought. If the Knicks get KD and they say, we'll trade you the 3rd overall pick for Ben Simmons, which team says no?
So basically, RJ Barrett.
Basically.
Is there a player that jumps RJ Barrett?
What if they...
Because Zion's going 1.
Yeah.
And then Morant.
2. Yeah, 2. Whatever his name is, yeah.
And then RJ Barrett. There's the talks from the guy from Maryland or Louisville. I don't remember exactly school. Yeah. So we're just saying RJ Barrett. Ben Simmons, RJ Barrett. For Philadelphia, I think you take the risk on RJ Barrett.
And then what if they sweeten it and say, since they bring in Ben Simmons to be their point, if they're like, we'll give you Dennis Smith Jr. in the 3rd overall pick. We want Ben Simmons, and they'll just throw somebody in.
Yeah, I'd do that.
And for the people, I say this very douchedly, for the people listening, obviously that's not the most constructed trade since we literally just made it up right now,
But I think you also have to take in consideration what fits for your team.
That'd be great. Durant and Simmons, I think, would be a great fit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Embiid, Simmons, Butler has not worked.
No.
I think also Brett Brown needs to go as coach. And their assistant
they're talking about, didn't they just give him an extension? Or talk about giving him an extension?
I don't know.
I thought so. I could be wrong. Yeah, no, that's going to be interesting. I don't know, man. It's tough because Ben Simmons is the first overall pick. You got Embiid.
So
It's
was
just
what's
Fultz.
his
But you want to fuck up on that many first round
who's
picks?
the Cavs guy?
Anthony Bennett.
Anthony Bennett.
Yeah.
Andrew Wiggins.
Yeah.
Okay, Andrew Wiggins has
Jabari
a
Parker's
bust,
number 2 pick.
has a bust label on
The first 2 picks of that draft are both busts. It goes
Yes.
Andrew Wiggins bust, Jabari Parker bust, Joel Embiid star.
Yeah.
And I was the one saying too, if the Bucks pick Embiid, I'm pissed. I look like an idiot. But you would think he had back issues.
Well,
he still
has issues. He still has his health issues.
Yeah.
But when he's on the court, he does ball
He's
out.
a monster. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So Jimmy Butler is going to determine a lot, especially for the 76ers. We already talked about Chris Middleton, so I want to skip over him. D'Angelo Russell, I'm assuming the Nets keep him.
Nets keep. That makes most sense to everyone
Porzingis
else.
stays with the Mavericks.
Yes.
They traded for him. Vucevic is going to go somewhere. I think the Magic have been talking about trading him for a few years. He's been on the trade block.
Portland
would be a great fit.
Portland needs a big guy. They need someone else to go with those 2 guards that they got.
Yeah.
This makes most sense.
Mm-hmm. No, I definitely agree. If they can't get Vucevic right now, our next one we're talking about is DeMarcus Cousins. He's coming off of that Achilles, and then he's coming off of a hamstring quad tear.
Yeah, he's going to go back to a contender, whoever that may be, but he's not going to rebuilding stage.
I honestly don't think the Warriors want him.
No, I don't think so. I think he moves on, maybe plays with.
But if you're okay, so let's say this Durant leaves, and then Cousins like, hey, if you guys give me another $5 million contract, I'll stay. Do you really think the Warriors would say no? I wouldn't.
I wouldn't. Yeah. Well, who knows? He hasn't been healthy. We haven't seen him play for so long.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too. While they're like, at that point, you have 3 players who can carry your team. It's proven, and you got Iguodala still. You got Livingston off the bench.
They get Bogut back from Australia.
You got people. You got players that are like they're going to carry the team. Cousins is a boom or bust. Either he's going to be great for your team, or it's a $5 million waste. But
either way,
it's like, oh well.
Yeah, it's $5 million.
Yeah.
I mean,
it
changes my life, but
yeah, not these guys. Brogdon, we already talked about.
Yeah.
Bucks need to sign him.
Yes.
And Brogdon's a player where literally you can put him on 29 other teams and he's going to be productive.
Yes.
It doesn't matter where he goes. He's a good fit for every team. He plays defense. He shoots well. He drives well, passes well. Al Horford can be a very interesting one if he decides not to stay with the Celtics. I think he'd be a great one for the Trailblazers.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm them too, I think every team should go for Brook Lopez, which sucks for the Bucks. But that guy, he can shoot, play defense, he can rebound. He's super. I love Brook Lopez. Splash Mountain, can't get enough of him. I think he's another team that now that Laker management's moved on from dumbass Magic Johnson, I think they could be like, look, this is a center. He's played for us. LeBron needs shooters. Let's bring in Brook Lopez.
Well, the kind of same with Brook Lopez, Patrick Beverley. Every contender should be saying, hey, we should go get Patrick Beverley.
Yeah.
That guy is just straight
feisty
thug on defense. I don't know whatever better word. Like, he will just annoy you and he will play 100% on defense. And everyone needs that guy.
Yeah. If the Bucks,
he's like Matt Barnes. You wanted Matt Barnes because Matt Barnes will go to war for your team.
If George Hill leaves the Bucks, I want them to get Beverly.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, how could you not want like a guy like Patrick Beverley?
It'd be insane. This is the
like
random
Ben Wallace too.
So JJ Redick will be interesting to see where he goes. I think honestly he'll probably just stay with the 76ers.
Yeah, makes more sense.
Danny Green, I think he played himself out of a lot of contract or out of a bigger contract this year. Mirotic, I think the 76ers go after. I think they let Tobias Harris leave and go after Mirotic for their 4. This is a player that I want to talk about real quick. He had a big role on Lob City. Just got traded, or then he signs with the Mavericks. They trade him now to the Knicks. He's a free agent right now. What do you think happens with DeAndre Jordan?
I think he's kind of that Boogie Cousins role.
Not as good, though.
No, not as good, but he kind of same boat. He'll go to a contender. I think he'll sign late.
Yeah.
He'll let all the first wave go.
I don't
And
even know if that would be by choice, though.
no, I don't think it'd be by choice. Most teams will not. Most contending teams
Yeah.
will just kind of let that first wave happen. If they miss out or they say, hey, we need a center,
Yeah.
we have X amount of dollars left. Are you interested in?
Yeah.
And a team like, what if he went, okay?
What if we went
Warriors,
back to the
or
Mavericks?
forget Warriors. Or Warriors, they let Durant go.
Yep.
Give money some Clay. Let Boogie Cousins go.
Yeah.
DeAndre Jordan, better
You don't-
Boogie Cousins.
You don't need a shooter. Like, that team
Better
has 4
fit.
shooters. You bring in a guy who's all defense, all rebounding.
All
I think that
defense,
could be-
out rebound. Lob City.
2.0.
Okay. Lob City. Basically, those
It's,
guys are
it's
good
Lob
passers.
City, though, just with DeAndre, though. They don't have a Blake Griffin.
No, but those Draymond, Clay.
It'd be Lob Jordan.
Exactly. They're good passers. They're trying to do it with, what's his name?
Looney?
Yeah, Looney.
Yeah,
Is
he's their center
DeAndre
right
Jordan
now.
more athletic Looney?
Oh, he's a Looney and him I wouldn't really compare. So, like, Looney, I think, and another team, he's like a power forward centered. He's more of a center, but he could play power forward, like if you needed him to.
Yeah.
Where DeAndre Jordan is literally, he's a old school center.
But does he still have the ups to be that Lob City?
Yeah.
Now,
7 foot.
if I'd say Warriors, I say
Go for him.
go for him. Forget Boogie Cousins. Boogie Cousins has never really been known for that.
Yeah.
DeAndre Jordan, rebound, rim protector, and some alley-oops.
Yeah.
How would you say no?
He'll get a second chance points for sure.
Chance at
and it's not like you need him for the offense.
No. Chance at championship team.
They've never have a center where you're like, oh, we need him to score for us.
No.
But Andrew Bogut was tail end of his career. Boogie Cousins was a hot mess.
They brought Andrew Bogut from Australia League.
Yeah,
play
Pachulia was a starting center for him at one point in the finals. Thaddeus Young could be interesting to see where he goes. He might even just stay with the Pacers. They're a nice young team. Patrick Beverly, we talked about, literally could go to any team, would be good for him. Ricky Rubio is a player that I don't think lived up to the hype that he once had. He could be a really good player. Like, he could be a good passer for the team. He doesn't have a very consistent shot. But we'll see. Looking at, so like, let's say right now, another player too that could go to literally any other team. And I think we'll just go to a contender is if the Bucks get rid of George Hill. I want to say it again closer to the microphone because I leaned back way too far.
Yeah. I mean, veteran point guard, comes off the bench,
can shoot.
He can shoot. He's been there. He has the knowledge, the veteran experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's one of those guys that almost any team would love to have him.
Yeah. No, absolutely. It's interesting. There's a lot of players, like, besides these big names, and we talked about them. Obviously, there's a match for certain players, more than others. But like, we talked about Ben Simmons for a little bit. Like, he fits on a certain team. Giannis needs a certain team around him. LeBron at this point in his career will probably need a certain team around him. But there's certain players, Patrick Beverly, George Hill, Brooke Lopez. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of players where literally could play on. Malcolm Brogdon could play on any team. So that's going to be interesting to see where those type of players go. Where is their personality of, hey, I want to go to a contender? Do I want to go to a team that I'm starting and the star, kind of like one of the top 2 guys?
Yeah.
Or do I want to go to a team that's the most money? So it's like, it's going to be interesting. That's where it comes down to personality more than like fit. Because Brogdon, you put on any team, is a contributor. Beverly, contributor. Lopez, contributor. Mirotic, contributor.
And so kind of wrap up this free agency, I think the big piece that has to fall first is Kevin Durant.
Yep.
Because everyone else builds or plans their free agency if they get him or not.
Yeah.
Because if New York misses out,
they're going balls to the wall to Kawhi and Kyrie and Kemba.
Yeah. They're making their pitches to everyone else.
Yeah.
and just saying, "Hey,
Yeah, and
I
I think the
come
big
over and
team-
play with us."
Yeah, I think the big team that's in purgatory to this point is going to be the Clippers because they've been connected
Yeah.
to pretty much every team or every big player so far. So it's once Durant decides, you know what, I'm going to the Knicks, they're calling Kawhi, they're
Yep.
calling Kyrie. I think they're going to go after Kawhi right away.
I think the Clippers, this is just my point of view. Clippers are only have two options really, Kawhi or Durant.
Yep. Yeah,
I
I
do
agree.
not think they're getting anyone really else. They'll get other role players.
Yeah.
But if we want to say top 5 guys,
yeah,
the only real options are they getting Durant or Kawhi.
Yep, I agree.
But maybe someone else goes and plays with those guys because they went there.
Yeah.
But no one else goes there if Durant or Kawhi is not there.
Yeah. No, I absolutely agree.
New York's a different market. Everyone wants to play Madison Square Gardens, New York City.
Yeah.
People just go there because
it's
the Knicks.
A huge market.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, we'll end our free agency kind of preview thoughts right there. Let's go ahead and we won't spend too long on the finals. Let's just go quick. Our key, like what you think the keys of victory are going to be and who you think's going to win and in how many games. And then we'll be back later this week. Can I mark you down on my schedule, Rixe?
What day?
I don't know. What day can you?
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
End of the week?
End of the week for sure.
All right. Let's go ahead. Who do you think right now, gut reaction, who wins?
Gut reaction?
Yeah.
Is tell me Warriors.
How many games?
6.
Okay. I'm honestly thinking Warriors 5 or 6 games.
But I watched the Raptors those last 4 games.
Look really good.
They look good.
I take away game 3 because they didn't look great in game 3, but the Bucks sucked in game 3.
Yeah.
Games 4, 5, and 6, they looked really good.
But honestly, even outside like being in Wisconsin, Raptors match up better versus Warriors and Bucks do.
I'm actually the opposite. I think the Bucks, even when they had terrible Coach Kidd, they were the one team to break the Warriors' 24-game win streak. They beat them once this year. I think
Raptors play better defense.
Kawhi plays better defense.
Okay.
I think Bucks have 2 first-team all-defensive players in Giannis and Bledsoe. Middleton's a good player. I think the Bucks match up better starting. I think the Bucks match up better, but I think the Raptors have the experience and the game plan to play them.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Who knows? Because Kawhi can't guard. Kawhi could guard Klay Thompson. He can't guard Steph Curry for a whole game. He could guard Draymond.
So if you put Kawhi and Klay, you kind of eliminate Klay. You put Siakam, obviously he's probably guarding Draymond.
Yep.
Does Kyle Lowry have Steph Curry?
He has to.
He has to. So I guess basically the key to the finals, if Raptors have any chance, these 3 players or 4 guys need to show up. Gasol has to show up the entire time.
Yep. He has to take advantage of Draymond guarding him.
Has to show up the entire time.
Yep. Ibaka has a lot of experience when he was on OKC playing against the Warriors and Draymond.
Yep. Danny Green needs to show up. Van Fleet
has to keep it going.
Exactly. I respect what you've been doing. Been playing lights out, especially those last 2 games. It's unreal.
Yeah, he has to keep it going.
But for you to win this championship, Van Fleet, it's on your shoulders.
Yeah.
Because Kawhi was killing it already. Kawhi can't do any better. Lowry's killing it. I mean, for his history and his track record. Van Fleet.
Yeah.
Keep it up.
Kawhi's going to have to get – and these days off, he has now Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. They play on the 30th. Thursday, I believe it is. So
I think it's Warriors game to lose. Warriors championship to lose, though.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think the big thing is going to be – but what's going to be tough is there's a lot of times when the Bucks they saw Gasol's in, they'd have Lopez in a lot, but sometimes they'd put in Ilyasova because it was harder for Gasol to keep up with Ilyasova. Draymond is 20 times more athletic than Ilyasova.
Yeah.
So if they put Ilyasova in at center, Gasol's not gonna be able to play. Like he's gonna play if they put Draymond in at center. Gasol's not gonna be able to match up with him.
No.
He can maybe do a couple minutes, but they'll have to put in Ibaka, which they'll match up, and Ibaka's really gonna have to step up this series. Even if Looney's in, Looney's way more athletic than Ilyasova is.
Yes.
So it's gonna be interesting what role Gasol plays. But when Gasol was on Memphis, they took him to 7 games in either 2014 or 2015. I can't remember. So they have experience against the Warriors. I still say Warriors in 5 games.
Yeah. All right.
Even without Durant.
Warriors. Who guards Clay? Or not Clay, Kawhi.
Clay.
I
say Clay's your number 1 choice. Draymond's number 2 choice.
Clay's pretty good.
Clay's a great defender. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about putting Clay.
Draymond just got to keep his head straight.
Yeah, and I think he will. He's been here. They're an experienced 5 years in a row.
Sometimes Draymond loses his shit and gets technical fouls.
But this is like any team right now. I'd be more worried about anybody on the Raptors' mentality in this game. The Warriors are all veterans.
What's with Kevin Durant? He coming back at all this season?
I don't think so. I think it depends. If it's 1-1, he comes back. If it's 2-0, I don't think he comes back.
I call bullshit on it. It's just a strained calf.
It's worse.
Achilles? They just don't want to call it that yet?
I don't think it's an Achilles. Oh, could be an Achilles.
It could. There's been a lot of talks. It could be Achilles. They just don't want to call it Achilles.
Because it will mess up his whole free agency.
Well, because also, as soon as you call it Achilles, you know he's changes. Done. He's done.
Yeah.
But if you call it a strained calf, there's a possibility. But
and the Raptors are still planning as if Durant comes back.
Yes.
Whereas they say, oh, it's Achilles, they go, okay, well, he's gone.
Yeah. There's been talks that DeMarcus Cousins has scrimmaged with the team. There has been reports about that. But there has been 0 reports about Kevin Durant.
There's also,
I think there is,
for the Raptors, speaking of injuries, the OG, I forgot his name, but that one of their power forwards might come back this year who in the finals. He hasn't played all postseason. He's an athletic forward, OG something.
Oh, I gotcha. I don't know. I think it'd be a good series.
I think so too.
Give me 6 games. Come on, Raptors. Give me 6 games at least.
I think it's 5. I think it's Warriors in 5. I think the Raptors will steal. I think Warriors win 1-2. Raptors steal 3. Warriors win 4-5.
I'm going to go the opposite. I just give Raptors game 1.
Okay.
Because they're hot.
Yeah.
They're hot. Warriors, big, they're rusty. Not rusty, but they took their break.
Yeah.
So I think they split in Golden State 1-1.
Okay.
Raptors, Warriors game 2. And then Raptors steal 1 in Toronto. So 6 games, finish it out in
Toronto.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could believe it. All right. Well, Trixie Rixie, thanks for coming back onto the podcast. You kind of ditched us the last 4 episodes. 3 episodes.
3 episodes.
Yep. I had to do 2 by myself. A drunken mess. I blame the Bucks, honestly, more than you. No, thanks for coming on. We'll plan another one later this week. Friday, Saturday, sometime. We'll talk. We'll plan one in within a week. We'll try to get more consistent now that this lovely man is in Wisconsin.
I'm here.
Yeah, we'll try to get episodes for our listeners once a week. But thanks for tuning in, and it's a sad time right now that the Brewers are only Wisconsin sports we can watch. I hate baseball.
I hate baseball too.
Next time we come on, we'll have Rixie give a NASCAR update.
There we go.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening, and see you next episode.
See ya.